Welcome back, everybody.
What's
We're
up?
back in it. New book this week, man. What's that new book?
It's by Ryan Holiday. It's about justice, personal justice.
Yeah, it's called Right Thing Right Now. And this topic's going to be pretty deep. We're going to expose ourselves a lot. We're just going to
No
uncover.
Diddy.
What's that? Yeah,
No Diddy.
no Diddy, man. We're going to unravel the clothing, what's underneath.
That's crazy.
That's crazy, bro. Well, metaphorically, we're going to dive deep into stuff that we're pretty uncomfortable about. And so we'll get right to it. So, first one, man, is do you think most people see themselves accurately, or do we all have these blind spots, man?
That's a good question. Um, we all have blind spots. I think people see themselves as how they believe that they are. For example, I view myself as a very driven and ambitious person. So a lot of my actions come from doing that.
Mm,
Whatever that North Star is for my ambition. Um, I'm doing my cardio. I'm doing my workouts at fucking 12 in the morning,
mm,
1 in the morning. And all of that is because of that North Star of my ambition. It's just my perspective of myself um, followed through by actions. And so I believe that everyone has their North Star, whether they know it or they don't. And I think it'll help everyone if they start to look at themselves more objectively to figure out what is that North Star. That way you have some more intentional intention to move throughout your life.
mm.
You know, yeah, yeah, I would say that.
Okay. So, moving with your intention, and do you feel like you're ambitious, you have these goals. So what is in there that's holding you accountable, or that's a blind spot that you think you need to really hone in on so you get that ambition?
Mm.
What do you think is going to distract you, or what do you think is going to cause you to not look further into yourself?
I think procrastination is a major
Hmm.
killer to
Tell me
ambition.
more about that.
Well, for my example, you know, I'm in college. I'm working towards my degree in accounting, and so a lot of my classes have essays due. They have research papers. They have certain things that need to be done at certain deadlines. I'm sure that even managers who are working in a facility or working in a certain operation, they'll have deadlines for certain things such as shipments. And when you procrastinate, it's a horrible temptation to fall into, but it exists and it can take over your life if you're not paying attention to it. It keeps you from doing what you need to be doing. It pulls you away. And so what I call that is your lower self. We all have a somewhat understanding that we are the hero in this journey that we're walking through. But there's two sides to that equation. On one side, you have the lower self, in which I just described, where it's pulling you away from everything that you could be. And on the other side of the equation, you have everything that you could be and improving for and becoming.
Hmm.
And I think even right now, all of us sort of know what voice is louder. In layman terms, in the lower self, you have a lot more procrastination.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I think everyone to some degree has some form of procrastination. What I tend to do is I use the atomic habits principles, of- and employ them everywhere I go as much as I can. And
Mhm.
one thing the whole reason for starting the podcast was accountability.
Right.
So that's why I have this system in place every week to just talk openly about. the blind spots. Yeah.
So what are some of your blind spots that you found?
Time management and procrastination. Just like the same thing. So it's all about systems. You don't rise to the level of what you want. You fall to the level of your systems. Shout out to the Atomic Habits guy.
Yeah.
So it's always just refining the system and meeting the standard and changing the system if it needs to be changed, and really sitting down with it, sitting down with your blind spots, reviewing it, writing it down on a notebook. Shout out to you. I got a notebook now. I got like five of them. So
Awesome.
pen to paper without AI, write it
Yeah.
down. Yeah. That's one takeaway I can give to others is without your phone, just write down on a notebook, what is your problem? What is your issue? What is your thing that you need to work on? And once you write it into existence, now it becomes a focus. So let's get to work.
Yeah, and these are for people who want to improve their lives, who are paying attention in their lives.
Mhm.
It's so easy nowadays with all the social media and videos that we see online to fall into those traps, losing the times and deadlines that we subject ourselves to. We sit on the couch and we doom scroll for an hour, 2 hours. We
Yeah.
procrastinate on something that we need to do, get done. And it's just so easy to do that nowadays that you
Mm,
have to almost have it forcefully in your forefront of your mind to do that, to figure out I need to reflect on myself, on the things that need to get done, on who I'm trying to become, and working towards that every day. Because if you're distracted,
mm,
you're not going to be able to do that.
yeah. So going to the book, right thing right now, right? Personal justice, the me. Um, this is the tough question. Like, when was the last time like you
Mm.
were convinced you were right, but later you realized you were wrong?
Man, that's a good question. I'm always right.
Shit.
Man. Um, sometimes in the heat of the moment with arguments, whether it's with family members. Okay, so, I'm the type of person to say, like, if I get mad and angry, I'm going to die on that rock and prove that I'm right. Like,
But you're aware of that. Yeah, you're aware of it.
yeah, I mean, my default setting is anger,
Mm.
100%. And I think it might be a genetic thing. I don't know. My brothers have it too. But
Use the
after,
force, Luke.
use the
That's
phone.
the force, man. That's what it is. Powerful.
But after the fact, after everything kind of calms down, um, I do a lot of introspection to see if that was the right call or not. And sometimes it's not. And I force myself to apologize to that person. I admit that I'm wrong. Hey, look, maybe um, I'm sorry I came off that way. That's not how I wanted it to come off. That was my own insecurities flaring up. That's not on you, that's on me. And getting older, I've came to a place to no longer allow my anger to flare up so much and use it as a directional tool.
Mm,
I still get angry, don't get me wrong. Like I get
yeah,
angry pretty often,
same.
but I just know how to use it more effectively.
Man, let's talk about that. That tool for men to be angry, to use your anger. It's like the force. It's like harnessing that ability, that ego, right? Because this section is more about like the addiction to being right, if you will. I think we're all like addicted. Like I'm right. Like a lot of people in different industries of employment, it's not that they just want to be heard. They don't even want to be. They don't want to look for the truth. Sorry, that's the next section. But um, you know, um, so how can we as leaders and engineered leaders, right? Engineered athletes,
Hmm.
or our brands are, how can we use the force to control ourselves so we can get the outcomes we want? Like, how do we do that?
That's a good question, man. I think a lot of times it's giving yourself a few seconds to take a step back, to assess the situation first before making an action, making a
We
judgment
practice,
call.
yeah,
Um,
like a muscle,
just like a muscle, man.
practice it.
Yeah, you got to practice it. You know, me being a manager, um, I do my best to guide and mentor my employees, and they ask me, you know, certain questions of how to deal with certain things, and I refrain from just giving a straight answer, and I lean more towards helping them figure it out for themselves.
Oh, I love that.
Had to work a lot better because it sticks. But specifically for men, your anger is completely normal. Like you are supposed to feel that emotion. I don't want you to feel like you're singled out or somebody's saying that you shouldn't be angry or you shouldn't be mad, that that's a horrible emotion, it's a negative emotion. I don't believe in that at all. I think that it's a tool, and the way that you can use it is by practicing using it in a direction where it improves your life or improves other people's lives. For one direction is working out and becoming healthier. Matter of fact, just last night, so it was around 10:30 p.m. I'm tired. We're closing the store at 11. And then I'm like, dude, I just want to go home and sleep.
I just want to go home.
Just want to go home and sleep. I'm tired. I don't know how I'm gonna be able to do this. I took myself to the bathroom and I looked myself in the mirror. I gave myself a pep talk. I'm like, listen, man, this is the time that we need to push right now because we're not going to be less tired in the future. So if we go and make ourselves go to the gym, work out like we said we're going to work out, do the things that we said we're going to do, it's going to get easier when we have more energy to do it later on.
Was that in reference to you working out after work, or is it like during the week?
Yeah. I'm in,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. You're
So
mentally drained.
oh yeah. I'm in work. I
Tell your
got
story,
10 tasks that still need to be done before we can leave.
but I still got it.
And I got about a 2 hour workout ahead of me. And I gave myself that pep talk. I mean, leading myself.
Hey, yeah.
And I'm like, all right, dude, this is the time. This is who we are. This is how we're going to do it. We got this.
I
This
signed
is
up for
the
this.
time.
Sign me up. Sign me up.
Exactly. Sign me up. Sign yourself up in that mirror.
Yeah, yeah,
And it motivated me, man. I shook it off. I'm like, all right, I'm a little bit tired, but we're gonna play it just like a football game.
yeah, yeah.
We're in the fourth ending. There's we're down 10 points. You're tired, you're exhausted, you got nothing else to give. Now it's time to really prove to yourself this is who
Uh,
you are.
Sounds like a touchdown, and it's going for the two, and then also a field goal. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah,
At
yeah.
least just to get out of the 10.
And you know,
Yeah,
I would encourage every man to do that. Whenever you're tired, whenever you feel like you can't give a little bit more,
dude, you could.
give
Yeah.
yourself that little pep talk in the mirror and be real with yourself. Give yourself that motivation, that
Oh,
inspiration. It's
man.
gonna push, man. It's gonna pull
Yeah.
you to become more. So that's my take. You know,
Yeah, yeah.
yesterday I got to the gym. I fucking destroyed a chest workout, worked out
Yeah.
my abs, and I got
Dude,
home at like 3 in the morning. But fuck it.
you were up at that time. I was up at that time too. Yeah. Man, I totally just agree with what you're saying. Like this too. this workout is a 250 push-up workout every day for 30 days and a 60-minute, 60-second plank and a half mile run, like all in rounds of five. Like I'm doing that every day. And there's
Yeah.
some days I just don't want to do it. And I'm making content about it for you guys so I can walk you through my thought process. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. It's exhausted. And then I realized my training, I practice this. I eat the right amounts of food, right? And I take the hydration. Um, it's holding me accountable. Fitness holds me accountable.
Yeah.
And what I learned through this lesson was the more you show up, the more you believe in yourself. The more you believe in yourself, the more you want to do more things, and the more you can do more. You're more capable. So that's my little spiel on that. Is
Yeah.
you know, but not
Dude,
yeah.
I mean to cut you off there, but I just want to make a reference to what you said to a few podcasts ago when you said that I think it was the result of work is more work, or the
The reward, yeah,
reward of work is more work.
yeah. It's a never ending. The reward for working is you're more capable. I have that, you're more capable to do actually what you thought would. I thought this was impossible. I thought, every month I'm going to do a challenge that's I think is impossible, but it's not too far out, but I think
Hmm.
I can do it. Because when I first heard of like 350 push-ups a day, the marketing attracted me. It was
Yeah.
just a daunting, it was like a statement. I was like, I don't even know if I can do that. So I was like, let me test that. Let me
Let's
apply
find
it.
out.
I want to do that for 30 days. And I don't care what my emotions are saying to me. So I don't know, I'm attracted to those things. It sounds like David Goggins. He's like, I started doing the math. That's what it was.
Yeah.
I started doing the math. 5 rounds. Can I break down that half mile run instead of 5 minutes? Can I do that in four? Can I do it in three?
Yeah.
Will I be tired? Because from the push-ups, muscular endurance, I'm gonna be exhausted. I don't even know if I. Let me see. Let me test it. So um, yeah,
And honestly, I think a lot of people appreciate that. Both of our mindsets. We're very driven, two driven guys trying to do more,
yeah,
trying to see how far the body can go, how far the mind can become more. And there's something about that that's almost novelty to people because it's like, okay, for me, listening to what you're saying makes sense. I get that. I'm like, oh yeah, 350 push-ups, probably 500 push-ups next month, 100%. That makes sense to me.
yeah,
But someone who's not in that fitness or mentality space, they
yeah,
may see that and be like, damn, that's fucking crazy. That's crazy that he's doing that.
yeah.
And
It's
so
good.
there's a bit of a novelty that comes with that that people really enjoy to be inspired by. I see some of the stuff that you're doing that you're posting, and I'm inspired. It pushes me to do more. It
I'm
pushes me.
inspired by you, dude, because you are inspired. Like it's just a cycle effect in this
Yeah,
coaching sphere. Is like when I see somebody improve and progress, dude. God, that just like I remember when I was there when I didn't want to progress. So I'm inspired, bro. Hell yeah, keep it up.
you too, brother.
Yeah, I see it in you. Yeah.
So segueing to the next topic
Mm.
is, um, do you judge yourself differently than others? And so do people give themselves more grace than they give other people?
Yeah, that's huge integrity right there. I guess an example is if I miss a workout, it's cool. There's a reason why. Like, oh, I'm the
Hmm.
coach. Of course I can miss the workout. I earned the right to miss this meal or to miss the steps. But watch out, man. Watch out. Because leadership is you can't ask your men to do something that you're not willing to do yourself. So, but if I see somebody else miss a workout, oh, they're undisciplined. So I think that's a very important time to pause and really hold yourself accountable to your own integrity. And you can't give yourself more grace than you give others.
Yeah, yeah, it's a
Watch
slippery
out.
slope.
Yeah. Watch out.
Um, and actually, it is human nature to do that.
It is.
To see somewhere where you fall short and to say, well, I'm tired that day, or I had this going on that day, it makes sense.
Yeah.
And seeing someone else fall short and immediately making it a character trait problem. That's just human nature.
Yeah.
And just like what you're saying to be a leader, I think you can speak a little bit more on that. Um, is being aware of the fact that that exists.
Yeah. I I see that, for example, in my basically what you're asking is do you excuse yourself before you excuse others? Yeah, that happens. And if you look at it mathematically, you're going to do that a lot. So I think the good question is, I think it's who you become. You got to become a person who always challenges themselves in in the excuse they're about to make. It's not just like a practice. Like you gotta, well, yeah, you gotta practice it and become that person that doesn't excuse themselves. If you're trying to lead this life, this ambitious life, then you have to live by that example, lead by example. It's so easy to say though, right? It's so easy to say. I know.
It's, it's much harder in practice.
Yeah, it's way much harder in practice because
Yeah.
it's the ego speaking, right? And but remember, it takes practice. So practically speaking, practice it, man. Like go out there before you make that wrong decision or that impulsive decision, pause. Pause for a second. Practice that a couple times. Track it even. If you want to improve anything, track how many times you're about to explode or something, or track how many times, and then that actually you're experiencing success by tracking it because you're like, oh, I actually did it twice this week instead of once or instead of three times. Um,
Right,
yeah,
right. And just to add on to that, um, when you begin tracking, let's say you begin tracking your macros or the things that you're eating, you do
yeah,
that for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, and you also see and you write down your emotions and what kind of day you're having that day. You will see a direct correlation from the foods that you're eating and the emotions that you're feeling, and you'll see that
uh,
they both they both are the same thing. They both are the same thing. Um,
that's
fats, yeah, fats regulate your emotions, your hormones. Carbs is what gives you energy. Proteins is what rebuilds your muscles, and obviously calories. The calories either decide whether you gain weight, lose weight, or maintain the
yeah,
weight that you're at. But let's say you have no fats in your diet because you think fats are a horrible thing in life or whatever. Um, you're going to have more days where you're more impulsive, where you're more angry, because you're not having the nutrient that your body needs to regulate itself.
yeah,
So not only tracking where you're finding success into um, becoming more of a disciplined person, but it'll show you more about your own human nature and how you can control that. And, I found that when I was doing a lot of bodybuilding, and I'm still doing it now. I had this notebook where I had my workouts, my diet, the notes of how I was feeling, how my muscles were feeling. And I
wow,
did that for about 3 months straight, no days off. Um, and I found that conclusion. I'm like, dude, wait. On the days that I have, I don't know, let's say I have a pizza versus my chicken and rice. Generally the same macros, but the pizza makes me feel angry. The chicken and rice makes me feel more neutral. I'm like, oh shit, that happens. Okay.
what?
Yeah. So
Yeah,
Be the person that takes the initiative to track yourself, track your macros, track what you're doing throughout the day, throughout the week,
Yeah.
throughout the month. Obviously, you're going to start small. Don't put everything up on your
Start small for
coworkers.
sure. For sure.
Start small,
Yeah.
and you're slowly begin to develop and improve the improving muscle as you're doing it, which is pretty dope.
That sounds like a program. Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, everything is a program. Like this self-development podcast, this personal development, it's a program. So when you guys tune into the podcast, every week you're sitting down with us, right? You probably have your own thoughts and feedback. So go ahead and comment below what are you working on? Are you even working on something? And
Yeah.
experience it together, right? So
And
yeah.
give us some advice that you've learned throughout your lifetime, your
Yeah.
own experiences.
Yeah.
I'd love to hear it. Put it now.
Yeah, exactly. So wanted to talk about Cody is
Yeah.
the hidden cost of resentment. All right, like resentment. So
Mhm.
what's a resentment that
Yeah.
you've had to let go of in order to grow?
I think the biggest resentment that I had to learn to get over, oh, well, there's two. The first one was my father and
Mm,
learning to understand where he was coming from in his life and all the decisions that he made and coming to terms with it and accepting it for what it was. Um,
shit.
I think when I was younger, I always had a resentment towards him, thinking that he never lived up to his potential. He always, tried to escape some way, somehow. He um,
Mm,
he wasn't the father that I wanted him to be, but it he couldn't have been that father anyways, given his life experiences. And I had to accept that and let go of that so that I can go ahead and become the father that I wish I had. The second resentment that I had to let go was with my mother. Just a real brief story. Um, when I was about 15 years old, me and her had a really rocky relationship. Didn't end so well. She moved states, and for about 6 years, we didn't speak with one another. And
6 years.
so, yeah, so I had a lot of resentment as a teenager, thinking like, oh, she left me, she abandoned me. Um, you know, if my mom could leave me, then, pretty much anybody else can leave me. And I had to come to terms with I shouldn't be so hard on myself like that because there's decisions made in rooms that I was not a part of that I have to accept for what it was. And if I continue to blame these people,
Mm.
I lose all the power that I have in my life. And it's always going to be a reason why I can't do something or I can't be someone or I can't improve my life in some way, shape, or form. And after accepting and just releasing the resentment and just being okay with what had turned out, it it was like being a chained up dog and trying to get that squirrel, but you can't because you're chained up. And then realizing
Yeah.
the chain is just attached to a stick.
Wow, it's just a stick. So the resentment is the chain, and that stick is just let it go.
Just let it go. Yeah.
Shit. Sounds like therapy, bro. Yeah, dude.
But
Yeah.
I mean that the hidden cost of resentment is within those details. It's holding you back from becoming more. It's holding you back from improving your life and becoming that person. The hidden resentment is like you lose good friends, you lose good family members, you lose more parts of yourself because you're so stuck in the past. You're so stuck on what they did to you or what this happened to you.
You mean the cause of that resentment? right? Is those things you listed.
Right. Those are all the
Yeah,
hidden
yeah.
costs. Yeah.
Man.
Um, and I can tell you right now, it may be the most difficult thing that you could probably do in your life is letting go of any resentment that you have. But it's the most fulfilling and it's the most nourishing for the rest of your life. You know, since letting go of all my resentment,
Yeah.
it gives me this capacity of compassion to everyone else because I
Oh,
know all the shit that I had to go through and what I had to do to let go of it. When I hear someone else going through some pain, I can offer them some guidance and mentorship and on how I do it.
wow. Okay. That's very really powerful. Yeah, the cost of your energy and is basically holding yourself back. The cost of it is growth. You're costing your capacity to grow and to understand others and to move in this world
Yeah.
differently than the people that you resented once before. Sounds like it.
Yeah, we all know those people who complain about someone who constantly say that, um, you know, they always have something bad to say about this person because of something went wrong, X years ago, or they just couldn't get a break or something like that. We all know those people, and I think it's important to try and help those people, but also tread lightly because they can
Yeah.
slowly infect your mind without you realizing it.
Take advantage of you too, right? Of your nights of your own growth of trying to learn your own ego, but then they're overstepping boundaries. But you got, yeah, like you said, tread lightly, hold your own boundaries.
So I have a question for you, man.
Yeah.
Have you ever blamed someone for years before realizing that they weren't even the problem to begin with?
For years. Yeah. Um, maybe not for years, but for like almost, yeah, actually for about 2 years, maybe. Um, man, it's big. It's just fairly new for me. My own father, right? I never really like talked about this in any social media platform, so this is interesting. Um, for years though, my father was a good person, I feel,
Mm,
maybe. But just fairly recently, things have flipped. And it's a very interesting time in my life right now as we speak. There's I'm like trying to understand it, but I can't because the whole family's affected by it. Um, I'm not too comfortable sharing like so much details, but later I'll share it, guys. What I'm just saying is like I feel like you and I have this like father issue. And
yeah, I guess that.
yeah, um, I think, and that it's giving me perspective now. That actually, there's a lot of families like this. There's a lot because
Mm,
there's a lot of weak men out there,
yeah.
and I just my life mission is not to be that. And now it makes me question. I have to be really, I have to be a good person, a good future father. If man, my kid's gonna be talking shit about me, it's like I, it's gonna push me to really hold the line now.
Yeah.
Basically, from my experience with having a currently bad father, is I have to hold the line, and it's kind of like working out. You know, I have I used to do it in 45 minutes, but I was able to reduce my time by 10 minutes to now 35 minutes. How
Mhm.
come? Because I held the line of, okay, don't think, just go to the next one.
Yeah.
Like I'm holding that standard. Like, how can I reduce this time and get a better outcome? So I'm putting a standard in place for
Mhm.
myself. So that's called practice. So when I become a future father, there's gonna be moments that are gonna test me emotionally and mentally, and with my time management, I gotta hold the line. So the same practice in the gym, I gotta apply it in life. So that's my
Yeah.
framework and like my response to all this of you know,
I really like the way you put it. Hold the line. I
yeah,
I because I have the same philosophy. I just call it becoming a stone, becoming the pillar for my family.
yeah, man.
Because those kids are gonna be testing the line. They're gonna be doing too much sometimes. Um, but for my life and my example right now is that I'm doing cardio in the mornings and I'm working out at the gym every night. And there's some things that happen during the day between those times that make me question, man, do I even want to do this? Or should I even do this or rest or whatever it is? And it's just the belief in myself of I got to be the stone. I want my family to look at me and be like, he doesn't quit. He
Yeah, man.
he doesn't falter. Like this dude, I can put all my problems on him. I can fucking give him all my emotional baggage, and he just takes it. And he just takes it, and he gives, great wisdom, and he keeps rolling. He just keeps going. He's one strong motherfucker. I want my family to look at me like that.
You know, shout without cutting you off, man. Shout out to my wife's dad. That's the guy that I really respect.
Right
Like,
on.
if there's a father figure in my life right now, it's my wife's father, and because he raised a really good woman. So I just wanted to say that. Like, there's a father figure in my life. It's that. So
Shout out to him, man.
yeah,
Shout out to him. All right. Segueing to our next topic, guys. This is interesting because I was reading this earlier and I'm not sure how I'm going to describe this, but what do you owe to other people is the main question. Um,
interesting.
and I guess this is more of a general question for the both of us, but what do you think a husband owes to his wife for all the husbands out there?
I feel that having a wife is a prelude to having kids, and the way you interact with your wife is going to be a direct image reflection to how your kid will see the world because that's the only thing they get to see as an example. So it's a high accountability form of relationship. So what does a husband owe his wife? His presence, even if you're going through a lot of time management issues, it's like you gotta have to be present and a mental pillar, like you said. And presence is you can still be busy, but it doesn't mean like, all right, what's next? You know, like
Hmm.
you just like shoo them away. That may be useful in like the gym, but when you're talking about your family, presence is like what a husband owes their family and their wife. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. And I want to add to that, it's not going to be perfect. No
Mm.
relationship is ever
Yeah.
perfect.
Ever. Yeah.
Um, I make some mistakes as well, especially with the gym and trying to find or make more time to spend more time with my wife and whatnot. Um, Sometimes I could be super focused and obsessed over hitting my gym numbers and hitting my college numbers and hitting my numbers at work that sometimes I fall short at giving her that presence that you talk about. Sometimes my mind is thinking, man, I have to,
KPIs. What's my KPI today? Right?
what's my
Yeah.
KD? Yeah. And
Key performance indicators. That's what it is. KPIs.
and it's completely normal to make those mistakes. But if you have open communication, if you work towards that communication with your wife, she can be very understanding to your goals and your ambitions, and that
Right.
is just as important. What I think a husband owes to his wife is presence, like what you're talking about, but also strength and vulnerability. And when I
Mm.
say vulnerability, I don't mean you get to put all your emotional baggage on her. That's not what it is at all.
Oh,
But having the strength and vulnerability combined together is having the ability to have those deep and harder conversations and the conversations that you need to initially make because she may not want to bring that up to you for, over fear of judgment or whatever it may be. And you have to come to it in a vulnerable state where you're looking to understand her, but also providing the strength that's needed for your relationship so that it can grow stronger and prosper. I think if you're too much into strength, you may lose some vulnerability and lose her understanding, and
Yeah.
it wouldn't come across as empathy. Um, but if you combine the two, you you come off as a very strong, wise man that she can look up to, that she can trust, that she can believe in. And that's just as important. You know, once you find that woman who believes in you and understands you, it gives you so much more power to do so many more things, whether it's
Yeah.
family or your own ambitions. But if there's one thing that I can give is like don't forget about her when you're achieving your success because it's so easy to do that.
Yeah.
Like I said, I fall into those mistakes currently, um, but I am aware of them, and it's something that I'm constantly improving because it's not just you improved it, you're good to go. It's just going to be fucking la la land and the entire time. It's going to be
Yeah.
a constant daily process that you have to work towards.
Yeah. I can give a specific example of like a moment where showing up consistently mattered more than words for my wife is I'm always I'm understanding that if I want to something to be done, I have to actually be the example. So it's
Yep.
like so true. Like the way, for example, it's very simple stuff like living together. The way I wash the dishes, man, it's just like the dishes is like an ecosystem for like a system. So how you wash it, what do you do in the dishwasher? I wash my dishes and I put my dishes in the dishwasher as a storage place. And once they're dry, I put them in the cabinets, right? And I organize them.
Yeah.
So that whole area of it's like a system. So how I do it is like how the example I want others to do it.
Yeah.
It has to be very sure. Like I shout out to my father, right? Not a good father, but like shout out to my father. He taught me this at a young age. That I remember I would bitch and complain about washing dishes. I would throw fits, right? And but it actually made me better because it's a microcosm example of like how I run my life. Wash the dishes, put it in the dishwasher, wait till it dries, organize the dishwasher in a certain way, put it in, put them in the cabinets properly, nicely, neatly, ducks aligned, rows aligned,
Mhm.
and have labels so that there's no like questioning where's this, where's that. So, um,
Dude, I
basically,
like that.
yeah.
Didn't mean to cut you off there. Dishes is a perfect subject right now.
With wives, yeah.
So my wife actually came from a household where dishes was seen as like a chore and like you
Yeah.
have to, she's a triplet, so her and her siblings
Oh well.
would kind of like bicker about who's gonna do the dishes. I came from a household where I had to do my dish as soon as I used it,
Oh,
and
good.
that was that. My stepmom was very anal about that. So, and I was
That,
just like
that's
you.
the standard.
I was
Yeah.
just like you. I'm like, it's a fucking fork, lady. It's not a big deal. But she was like, you wash your damn dish. I'm like, all right. So now being much older, it's just a process of a system. As soon as I'm finished with my dish, I clean it. Or if I see any dishes in the sink, I just clean it.
Yeah. You lead by example by doing it.
Exactly, exactly. Once my wife and I started living together,
You
she
learn.
started to see that, oh, he doesn't let things pile up. He just kind of does them. It doesn't matter if it's his or somebody else's, he just
Oh
does them.
wow. Yeah.
And didn't really take long for her to start doing that too. So now if I finish a meal, I put
Yes.
it in the sink and I go to work because let's say I'm rushing for whatever. I come home and it's washed. It's not a conversation. It's just done. And same thing when there's a dish right there and she's not home. I just wash it and it's just done. It's just a process. It's a system now.
Very inspiring. Yeah, man.
Lead by example.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah.
Washing dishes, man.
Washing dishes. A little detail.
Yeah, it's the same thing as like making your bed. It's the same principle.
Mm-hmm. Don't let it pile.
So my next question for you, are you harder on yourself than you'd be on a friend?
Oh, that's a big one. Lately, so this whole book is about justice, right? What's the truth versus what is the standard? What's
Mm.
actually happening? Um, in the beginning of my coaching journey, I used to be harder on people more than I was harder on myself. And that was really not a good thing.
Hypocrite.
Yeah, hypocrite, goddamn. Yeah. And I give myself grace. Cool. I was learning how to be a coach.
Right.
And that's the most important part is you're accountable to it. So now I've learned with my wife giving me a lot of feedback is you got to be, if there's anybody that you should be harder on, it should be yourself
Mhm.
because it makes you better. And yeah, I mean, you're leading by example when you're hard on yourself. It's a lot easier for people to accept your direction as a leader when you just lead by the example, the dishes example, right? Yeah.
Yeah, you can't expect someone else to do something that you're not even willing to do. Um, and also not weaponizing the fact that just because you do it shouldn't give you the ability to be that much harder on someone else to do it
I,
the same. One example that comes to mind. At work, we're getting a bunch of new people, and I'm having to train a few people on certain things. I have this one person. I'm not going to name him any names or anything like that. I'm gonna keep all those details out.
mhm.
Be professional here, but I'm teaching this person how to do a task, and this person does not like this task. And I kind of felt sort of bad trying to coach this person on how to do it because I know that I can just complete this task in 2 minutes. But I
Okay.
need this person to understand how to do this. Otherwise, it's going to cause problems for my boss and their boss's boss. So it's
Yes.
so it's a process that this person just needs to get down. Um, Once I coached and showed how to complete it, she was not very happy. She was not very happy with me. Um, the following days, I just did the task when we're working together. Because the objective wasn't to make her do something that she didn't want to do. The objective was to teach her how to do it. And if I'm working with her, then I don't mind doing that task and completing it for her. And so during that initial phase, I had to make sure that I wasn't weaponizing it, um, and using it as like, well, you're here. I want you to do it whether you like it or not.
Yeah. That's yeah.
Especially being a manager. I mean, it's easy to delegate so many tasks, but as a true leader, you got to decide and make that judgment call. This person does not like doing this thing. Am I able? This is how I kind of think through things. Um, all right, what am I doing and am I able to do it? If I'm busy and I can't do it, I go to the next box to check off. The next box is okay. If I can't do it, who can do it? And who do I have available? And what are they doing?
Okay.
And I assess the situation of what's right in front of me. And if she's the only person, let's say this person who hates doing this task, if she's
Yeah.
the only one that can do it, then I have to hold the line and ask her to do it because I'm busy. But if there's someone else who can do it, I'm gonna have that person do it instead because the morale of the atmosphere also means just as much as getting these tasks done. And so I don't want to make someone feel like I'm just being a boss and forcing them to do something. Um, but there's also a fine line of, hey, this is a job that you need
Yeah,
to
this
do it
is
anyways.
professional environment, guys.
Exactly.
Accept
Exactly.
this new thing. Yeah,
Yeah, and I think a lot of managers and leaders out there understand that is that
yeah,
like you have to have the morale factor in there, as well as completing stuff. So you're trying to combine those two so that you can operate in the most effective way possible. Um, and so I bring that up because as a manager, everything falls on you. And
yeah,
so you have to be harder on yourself. You can't
yeah.
just blame someone else because they made a mistake. Ultimately, you
Cool.
technically trained that person. So that's your mistake, man.
Yeah,
Um, and you kind of have some leeway to a certain degree because let's say you mess up as a manager. Well, part of that problem is because your boss messed something up. And so it's a leadership trait to take accountability. And as an employee who may be not in a leadership position, I found that being a manager is much more about being a counselor, being a boss, being
yeah,
a manager, being a leader, being a therapist, being a guidance counselor. Like there's so many hats that you wear as a manager. That's so much more than just getting the tasks done, which requires you to be harder on yourself and more articulate with how you're going to explain certain things.
yeah.
Um, because everybody wants to be treated fairly. And I would say everybody wants the truth to a certain degree, but they want the truth in the way that they would like to receive it.
To see it, yeah. In the book, they talk about if you wanted to sum up the entire book, it would be treat thy neighbor as thyself, right? It's just the same. It's a very like big summary of it.
Yeah, yeah. It's
Yeah,
actually it's an improvement of treat everybody how you would like to be treated,
yeah, exactly.
but to treat everybody how they would like to be treated.
Yeah, yeah. And then you're constantly juggling that. Yeah,
Many high performers, okay, so many high performers aren't failing. They're simply moving the goalposts. And so what that means for me is that when I'm getting closer to finishing my goal, I have a tendency, and I don't know if it's a bad tendency or a good tendency yet, but I have a tendency to move the goalpost before I achieve it. So I lose 10 pounds, I'm like, I gotta lose another 10 pounds. I gain some muscle, I gotta gain more muscle. I
yeah,
learn a new song, I gotta learn a better song, or I gotta make that song even better than the way that I was playing it. And so
yeah,
there's a missatisfaction of like I never fully accomplished something because I'm constantly trying
yeah.
to get more things.
Yeah. I feel that. I remember Brian Tracy said, if you want to be successful, you have to experience success in the progress pursuit. So if you don't even experience success, you won't be motivated to do the next one. So finish the first one, experience that success, experience that win in an accountability group or with yourself, and then jump on to the next one. Because if you don't finish anything, then you're not experiencing the success. You're not going to move your motivation driver, right? Yeah.
Right, right. It's like it's sort of like the people who have multiple hobbies and they're not really great at any of them. They're kind of a jack of all trades but a master of none. And
Average.
yeah, it's just average. Yeah,
I
perfect. You
mean,
summed
there's
it
nothing
up
wrong with
perfectly.
that.
Average. Um, and that's if you want to live an average life, I think that you understand that of yourself, and that's fine. Like
Yeah,
live that life. That's not a life I want to live,
that's
but
not my yeah, yeah. I
live
want
an
to ask for one thing, like one sport. Give yourself grace though. You know, we're all average at one point, but remember,
we all come from come from a certain place.
yeah, just remember like this is for high performing like athletes and high performing leaders. This is the podcast where this is the place for not being average. So
Yeah,
welcome.
yeah. You come to us if you want to learn how to become better, stronger, faster,
Yeah,
better leader. We
yeah,
don't talk about average. That doesn't exist. It's
yeah, man.
fucking toss that away.
Yeah,
Oh man.
yeah. So there's this section in the book, man, called the courtroom, right? So remember, we're talking about justice here. So if we judged your character solely by your actions
Mm,
in the last 30 days, okay,
okay.
what verdict would be returned for you?
Let's see. Um, this is my last 30 days. If somebody was looking in at my chapter book, they would probably describe me as a physically determined, ambitious person who doesn't like to do less things, but is constantly figuring out how to do more things better and probably needs to not be so critical while he's on the journey
Yeah,
because everything's going to work out. I think when you're in the journey and you're working towards improving yourself, whether it's fitness or at your work or becoming a better leader, when you're in the shit, you can be super critical on the things that you didn't do. And I think that's what you mean by grace is to give yourself the grace for the things that you did do, the things that you are improving. And for
yeah,
me, I don't give myself that much grace. I'm like, great, this on to the next. Let's do the next thing, bro.
yeah, yeah. You just don't. You want to make sure you don't give up. So that's why like there's a grace period for people that are learning to be this performance driven person. I find so many times as I'm a coach that people will give up, and it's because what you said about novelty, right? It's like a new thing that they never seen this before. So I think as a leader, we have to realize like there's people that are learning this new thing. So the whole goal of it is not to give up. So like intensity. Here's an example. In the 250 push-up challenge, this guy he was sick and he was like, "Man, I'm done being." I was like, "I'm done being sick. I'm gonna run 5 miles and I'm gonna do the 250 push-ups." And then he just quit after. He was too intense with his goals. All you need to do is just stay consistent with the small things.
Hmm.
So I think as a leader, it's not to push them away and just let them quit, right? It's to just do the small task first. Like, where are they at? Meet them where they're at so that
Hmm.
they don't quit. Um, yeah,
Yeah,
different people. Yeah,
I would even go as far as like you got to be a coach coaching yourself
yeah,
and teach yourself how to push through those things. There was a few days out of the month where I went out for my usual walk slash run, and I was gonna do about 5 miles. I was like, I'm gonna do 5 miles today. But then I started walking, and then I got some swamp ass, so I had to turn back around, and otherwise I was gonna shit myself walking. It was not pretty, and I only ended up doing like 2 miles that day. But I
Yeah.
I didn't hold myself like, oh, that's the end of
Self-esteem, right? Yeah.
that's not the end of it.
Yeah.
Because just like just like someone who's trying to eat healthier,
Oh yeah.
it's not a diet, man. It's a lifestyle
The
change.
lifestyle change. Yes.
If you're someone who's trying to get healthier and become fit or learn better, understand that it's a lifestyle change. It's not a diet. So you don't do something for 30 days or 2 months or even a year and then decide that you're not going to do it anymore. Because what's going to end up happening is all the results that you've gotten through those things is going to go away slowly. And so think of it as a lifestyle change. For me, doing my cardio in the morning, doing my miles in the morning is something that I can sustain for 30 plus years. It's not super taxing on my body. So when I get older and I start to frail up when I'm 80 years old, I can still do my walks. Maybe it may not be 5 miles, maybe it'd be half a mile, but it's something that gets me going. If it's my workouts at 12 in the morning and 1 in the morning, for me, that just works because that's a place where I can go to the gym and I'm not tied to any time constraints. I can pretty much just do whatever I want in the gym at that time. If later on in life something changes, then I'll have to change my lifestyle. It's not a diet. Like I'm not doing these workouts at 12 in the morning, 1 in the morning, um, to push myself and like, I'm gonna do this because I want to be tired. I'm trying to, exhaust myself and see how far I go. It's more of like, how can I do this forever?
For the long game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How can I do this for the rest of my life?
Yeah. That's the marathon right there. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Damn.
We each have our evidence of the last 30 days. You doing multiple challenges, being crazy out there. I'm doing my cardio. We're doing this podcast every week. I guess the final question, right?
Yeah. It's the final question.
So, I mean, the final question is going to be a little bit of a wrap-up question with everything that we said, uh,
Yeah.
that we shared today.
Absolutely.
You know, what are you blaming someone else for, if you still are? And if you took complete ownership tomorrow, how would that change your life?
Yeah. So glad we stumbled upon the Stoic principles because it's not what happens to you, it's how you respond to it. So what I'm blaming someone else for, my father, is I'm blaming him for his inability to see how I want the world to be led. And I'm blaming him for his inability to execute discipline, even though he claims to have discipline. So I'm blaming him for his pride, his ego, and and his almost narcissistic mindset.
Mm.
Now, that's cool. There's people like that. There's people who can't change. Okay, that's how the world is. So if I was to take complete ownership tomorrow and say that that's not my responsibility to change people, the most important people, what can I do to make a better tomorrow?
Yeah.
That's my accountability question myself. So I'll have to make that life. I'll have to make the life that I want to see, and that's what I'm going to do. What is right? Do what's right.
Fucking love it, man. Yeah, let that shit go. Once you let that shit go, doors gonna open for you, brother. They
Oh yeah.
always do. I'm not blaming anyone currently. I don't know, it may change in the future. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not blaming anyone. Tomorrow, I'm looking at everything that I can do. I'm looking at all of my opportunities in front of me. Um, Proving to myself that I can still work out even if I'm tired has been helping me improve, helping me get better, stronger, faster, smarter, more articulate with my communication. Just giving me more endurance. And so my future looks as far as things that I can improve is probably my time management skills. And sticking to my schedule that I make myself. Sometimes I kind of go over or go under certain tasks that I need to get done. Like I'm mainly speaking about college. Like I have essays that I need to do, and I have a week to do these essays, but I don't want to wait a week. I want to just get it over with.
Put it up.
Yeah. So right now in this chapter, I'm looking at what opportunities are available to me, which ones are right for me, which ones I'm willing to say goodbye. I don't really need that. Um, and ultimately just building the character that I have for myself, you know. I love my Harley. My Harley runs great. Um, the next step is to find, well, I have a couple buddies who also ride here in Tucson, so finding the time to go ride around the city,
Yeah.
videotape it, go explore more places is the next. I got plans to spend more time with he's not really my stepfather. He's married to my mom, but I don't consider him my stepfather because he came way too late in the picture. So he's just a dude that's married to my mom. But he's a cool guy. He's a cool dude, and he has so much knowledge in music and guitar. He studied guitar theory and or music theory in college for 7 years. And so the next thing is to um, play some music with him, learn what I can from him um, along this journey of, you know, improving myself and sharing with you guys the nuggets that I can give on this podcast and finishing my degree so I can start working as a full-blown CPA. That's the goal. I think that's the biggest goal for everything right now. Um, because the main idea of that degree and working in that facility or that area is it'll give me something to um, have stable to be
Hmm.
able to try all these businesses that I have
Yeah.
and maneuver capital that way. So if I
Yeah.
fail at whatever business, I
Yeah.
I still got this stable um, playing field to build up
Yeah.
my income and then try again and then try again and
Yeah.
then try again because I only got to be right once.
Yeah. It's true.
Only got to be
Yeah.
right once. If you're listening to this and you're thinking about your making a business or being an entrepreneur, you only got to be right once. That's it. So keep trying, keep going after it. Um, Learn to be better at whatever your craft is, and it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
Exactly, guys. Good wrap up, man. So hope you guys enjoyed that one, man. It was a pretty deep one. We got a lot to explore about ourselves, and see you guys the next one tomorrow, next week, and be ready for this podcast being launched. You guys already be seeing it though on Monday. So see you guys in the next one.
See you guys on the next one. Geared Accountability Podcast. Tell your friends. See you next week.
All right. Peace.
Peace out.